Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm out here outside the world famous, let's say that it's world famous Tail of the Dragon store. And we've got the Deals Gap store right over there. We are at the Tail of the Dragon, and we are about to take the Alfa Romeo Stelvio in Veloce trim, not Quadrifoglio, sorry, but in Veloce trim. We're about to take that for a quick jaunt on the Tail of the Dragon. So we're in the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. This is not the Quadrifoglio model though, so it's rocking the 280 horsepower, 306 pound-feet of torque from a Turbo 4, which is plenty on the Tail of the Dragon, and that is exactly where we are taking this thing. We are taking this thing to the Tail of the Dragon. Now you might be like, why are you driving an SUV on the Tail of the Dragon? And if you're not familiar with the brand of Alfa Romeo, well, hello, that's kind of what people do with Alfa Romeos. They are known for their handling prowess. So I'm gonna roll the camera this whole time and just kind of do a stream of consciousness review of the Stelvio, both on and off the Dragon. So we're on the road leading to it right now, and I literally just sat down in the vehicle, and I'm noticing right away the incredible sort of accuracy and feel of the steering. The suspension is comfortable, but definitely sporty, but it's not punishing. It's not giving me a whole lot of harshness. I can feel the road. I've got a good sense of what the Stelvio is doing beneath me. I can already hear some things in the vehicle sliding around, like my phone and audio recorder. Hopefully they don't go flying, but we're in a faster part right now, kind of leading up, and the power of this thing, 306 pound-feet of torque is noticeable. So it's definitely not wanting for power. I also put it in the D mode of DNA, which is Alfa's little drive mode thing. So that means I'm in driver mode, and I've got the G-force meter in front of me so I can watch my G-forces. And I like how it has these big analog gauges. You don't see that as much anymore. I know at this price point, you should probably have a digital gauge cluster, but I do like that Alfa gives you these big analog gauges. There's a little bit of a throwback kind of feel to it. Now, I do feel like I'm riding up kind of high because we've been driving a variety of cars on this press trip, and this is the first one I've been in, SUV at least, on the Dragon. There are two SUVs that were taken on the Dragon. There's this Alfa, and there's the Mercedes GLE Coupe, or whatever it's called, the AMG one, the 53. So I'm hoping to have that too. Everybody's out here having a good time today and enjoying the Dragon. Most people, this is their first time on the Dragon. This is like my 50th time on the Tail of the Dragon, so I feel very lucky and very fortunate. Shout out to these seats. I don't know over long haul distances how comfortable these seats would be, but they are quite comfortable, and the bolstering on them is significant. I'm feeling plugged into the Stelvio as we get close to the Dragon. I'm digging this steering wheel, by the way. This has the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, which is an absolutely superb automatic transmission. So I'm probably not gonna put it in manual mode, because I will tell you right now, I don't like putting vehicles that I'm not familiar with in any kind of manual mode on a road like the Tail of the Dragon. It's not particularly safe. The Tail of the Dragon, if you don't know, is 318 curves in 11 miles. It is an extremely famous driving road in North Carolina and Tennessee. The majority of the road is in Tennessee. We're on the Tennessee side, by the way, which is just absolutely gorgeous today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day in November. And so we are rotating all these different vehicles, performance vehicles, family vehicles, from the Southeast Region Media Association, otherwise known as SARAMA. SARAMA. I think every time we say that, someone should go, SARAMA. Now, as we're coming up to the Dragon in some of these areas of the road where the pavement kind of undulates a little bit, the The Stelvio is a little busy. It's comfortable. It's not harsh. It's just a little busy. And I think that's, you know, what you get with kind of a sportier tune of suspension. I'm also going relatively quickly along this road. We won't disclose the actual number. The actual number's not relevant. Don't worry yourself with the actual number. The Stelvio styling is really nice. I think it's kind of cool and unique looking. It's one of my favorite parts of the Stelvio actually, is that it doesn't really look like a lot of other SUVs in this class, but I'm surprised by how good the visibility is out of this thing. You get really great visibility in the front. You get this nice panoramic sunroof, panoramic, I can never say that right, panoramic sunroof, and we are now on the tail of the dragon. So let's have some fun. You definitely feel that the center of gravity, how much higher it is than something like this, but man, the tires didn't even squeal there. What in the world? What in the world? This thing, good Lord. I mean, we're only at the beginning and I was not expecting this. And the torque coming out of this little 4. Holy goodness. It's been a while since I've been up here, man. You forget how absolutely brutal this road can be. Brakes are definitely up to the challenge. That ZF 8-speed is doing a commendable job getting into the right gear, especially as we get to some of these. Oh, my info sheet's getting a little out of control. I think what's most surprising to me is that this is a fair size SUV and it is doing a very decent job controlling itself. Body roll is very limited. The torque is fantastic. We come to the S's here in this very dippy, curvy spot. Its composure is really good. The steering off center is excellent. That is absolutely excellent steering off center. Got this nasty left right here. Sorry, I only have one GoPro. There's only so much that I can run on the car. Oh, I actually heard a chirp. I actually heard a chirp. I hope my camera bag's okay in the back. Try not to go too crazy in our Stelvio here. Probably should have buckled that thing up. Oh, C8 Corvette, you know he's having a good time. Can we also admit that this engine sounds pretty good? So yes, we're gonna stop at this overlook for a second, but so far this thing is doing an amazing job. Note to self, Stelvio's backup camera is itty bitty. Let's go. The speed of this thing, it builds up so deceptively quick. Like you're not really thinking it's gonna be all that fast. And then you get going like, you know, like an SUV shouldn't be doing this. It shouldn't be going this quickly in a smallish mid-size SUV. It's a good thing the steering is quick on a road like this, way quicker than you'd expect for an SUV. If you're a normal person and not a lunatic, you might find it to be a little bit too quick, but if you are a certifiable nut, I think you'll be pleased. We'll say the braking zones are not what you expect necessarily in a vehicle of this size. Brakes are good, but we're asking a lot of them. But the ability of it to get down into a low enough gear coming out of some of these really tight corners and then uphill changes is very impressive. Like right here, coming around tight, going up. I don't remember a guardrail being there. That must be new. That was cyclists on the Dragon, which that's a good way to get yourself pancaked, man. This ZF 8-speed always knows where to be. Always knows where to be. It is telepathic Gonna come around this section here, hard on the brakes, make sure no one's around this blind corner. It's a dangerous section where a lot of people will try to do something stupid. I like that little engine growl. It's fun, sounds good. How is the ride quality in this good considering what we're doing, what we're asking of this vehicle? Like, we're asking a lot of this thing, and it's more than happy to oblige. Especially like here where you get a little bit of a brake and you can just go ahead and punch it up and then get hard on the brakes again. And it's like, sure, why not? And I'm just ham-fisting this thing, man. I mean, just beating on it. Such an impressive car. More impressive than whatever those black tire marks were from, because they didn't make it. And you know, I'm 6'6" and I've got plenty of space in the front seat. When we stop, we'll check out the back seat, because that's always a good metric to see behind me. Oh, those tire tracks went right off the road. That did not end well for somebody, I can guarantee you. I think the height of this thing makes you feel like you're going faster than you actually are. Maybe it's slower than you actually are, I don't know, because I do not feel like I'm going that fast. Also, this thing is braking beyond my expectations, because I'm braking way too conservatively for some of these corners, and the Stelvio has more grip in reserve than you think. Like, I could brake harder for some of these, and the Stelvio could take it. But, you know, this is Alfa Romeo Stelvio, not mine, so let's not bend this thing on the tail of the dragon. Kind of double apex some of those long, sweeping corners. Build up a little speed here just to bring it back down again. And then this is a decreasing radius. Felt a little understeer there. There was definitely a little understeer there, but that was a tough off-camber decreasing radius turn. The kind of thing that catches people out on this road. You're not quite expecting it. You use the brakes a lot on the Dragon, so you gotta make sure that whatever vehicle that you're bringing up here, the brakes are up to the challenge. Here's the dip. Woo, that section. The Stelvio was insane over that. That was nuts. That was nuts. That section is tough on a sports car. And the Stelvio was like, might as well have been a family cushy ride over that. That was hilarious. Absolutely crazy. What an riot of an SUV. And this is not even the Quadrifoglio. My God. I feel like a little squirrely going through there. No big deal. Gotta be careful this section. Oh yeah, too much speed in that section. You go into the trees, into the trees. Do not plan out the braking zone there. That was unwise on the Dragon. Unwise. What this thing gives you, here's the big dip, and kaboom through there. Nice. Oh man, absolutely, absolutely composed. Whew, you could see where cars like bottom out on that part. It is very big elevation and camber change there in the span of like 2 car lengths. Nice thing about the visibility is I'm able to kind of look through the corners and see through the side windows where I need to really get a sense of where this car that's too big to have on a road like this, to be honest with you, but I can get a sense of where it is, where it needs to be. You're kind of looking across the windshield, but the view is expansive. Yikes, man. People have had some bad days up here. I am not trying to be one of these people. Oh, that off-camber part is... That section too, man. Lots of dips, and the turns never get too bad, so it's very easy, especially in a small car, to build up way too much speed and then have to scrub it off when you get to this section where the turns get sharp again. And if you've never been to the Dragon, you cannot drop a wheel off the road here. There's way too much debris, way too many places where the road is literally the end of grip. There's like a drainage ditch or something, and then you're in big trouble real fast. Wow, that pothole needs to be fixed. Would not want to hit that in a Porsche or something. This is the fast section, which means people do dumb things on it because you hit this hard right-hander here, deceptively kinky, and I don't mean that in a good way. Real sharp, 180, it's more like 270. I'm looking all the way through the windshield and side window on that one. But man, going down to that low gear and that 380 pound-feet of torque just makes itself known. Was it 380? Or was it, what did I say it was? I don't know. I've got bigger fish to fry right now. Got bigger dragons to fry right now. Here's the North Carolina border. We're gonna slow down because cops like to hide around here. And in the absence of police, we'll continue on, but the Dragon's almost over. So thoughts on the Stelvio and how it handled the tail of the Dragon? Well, let's just put it this way. The Alfa Romeo Stelvio should not be able to do what it can do, but it can do what it can do, and it did what it can do on the tail of the Dragon. Now, is the Dragon more applicable to something like a Miata? Well, of course it is, and we have a Miata out here today, so maybe I'll get in it later, but oh my gosh, what that Stelvio was doing was unholy to the Dragon. It just defies logic. I said it a million times, it shouldn't be able to do this. It doesn't make sense. How's the transmission so good? How's the engine so peppy? Now, forget everything else you know about the Alfa Romeo Stelvio and just look at it from a purely handling perspective, because that's what this is. This is just a preview. This is an opportunity for us to sample these cars, and I am deeply impressed by the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Now, I'm hoping I can jump back in it later on for maybe a little bit more seat time and check out the amenities, check out the tech and things. I did like the interior a lot. I really like the layout and the way that it fits me. I do think for someone my size, that rear seat is going to be pretty compromised, but the cargo space is pretty good, and the overall kind of proportions are right in line with something like the Genesis GV70, which is another excellent SUV that could definitely not do what the Stelvio can do.